Hello to you and welcome to the Ingles table. I'm Kelli Smith.
And I'm Erin Barnett from the Southern Table. Thanks for being with us. Today we are going to be making some Southern baked pork chops for you.
Oh, they sound so good, and we found all of our fresh ingredients at our local Ingles store. So let's get started. First of all, there's no recipe like a family recipe, and this one is one of your families.
This is on repeat at least every couple of weeks in our family, and what I love about it is it goes far, it feeds a crowd, and it's low budget.
I love
so
everything about this, and it's beautiful. Let's mention that. All the fresh fruits and veggies just make this absolutely incredible.
Yes, this is actually a recipe from my husband's grandmother, and when I first had the salsa, which we'll get to in a minute, I was like, wait a second, somebody's got to teach me how to do this. But it's so easy, and again, the pork chops, it's a low budget dinner idea for your family. Ingles has a fabulous meat section.
Oh.
You can get 4 of these about 1/2 to inch pork chops for typically under $5.
Okay, and that's our base today. So we're starting with the pork chops. We've already lined our baking sheet with aluminum foil. And let's walk through what we're doing with the pork chops.
We've got just about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can do a little bit more, and that's going to allow our dry seasoning to really stick to them. And for the dry seasoning, we've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. What's more Southern than using brown sugar in a recipe?
This is the reason that the kids love this recipe too.
My children love it.
Sweet flavor.
So we're going to put in just a little salt and pepper.
Okay.
Some paprika as well to add a little kick.
And a little color.
Yes.
We love everything about that.
You can even do some cayenne pepper if you like a little spice.
If you want to kick it up a notch.
And then some Italian seasoning.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to just add in a dash of garlic powder here.
Or if you're like us, more than a dash, because we both love garlic.
Okay.
Bring the garlic on.
Mix that up for me, Kelly.
Okay.
And then you're basically going to be coating both sides of your pork chops. Again, you can do more or less depending on how seasoned you like them, but it does give it a nice crisp coating because we are putting it in the oven.
Absolutely, and I love your method to this. You spoon it right on,
Super
right?
Super easy. You can obviously use your hands. I'm always using a spoon or a brush or something
Whatever you
just because I don't necessarily like to touch everything. But you just basically use the back of your spoon to pat it down on your pork chop. And
this
again,
is going to give it that candy-coated, wonderful flavor.
We made some earlier, and the smell was so good. I was like, hungry. Oh, we're hungry. Okay, so you just kind of get those on. Doesn't have to cover the whole thing. And then flip them over and do the same thing for all 4.
On the back side.
But again, like you said, it kind of gives it that candy coating.
Yes.
It's delicious. Of
Beautiful
course, you can
flavor.
do them in the, your stovetop as well. Thank you, sister.
And what I love about this too, you said every time you guys have this particular dinner, it takes your husband back to childhood.
Yeah, you know those recipes that are nostalgic for your family. You know, I think he just is reminded of his grandmother.
I love
and he enjoys it, that we've been able to continue it in our family. And just watching your kids enjoy a recipe of someone in your family, that's really special.
Yeah, passed on from generation to generation.
So we got the oven preheating on 375. We're gonna pop those in for about 30 minutes or so, give or take, depending on your oven. And now we're going to make the salsa that goes along with this. And I love this. His grandmother, Biba, was her name. She made this salsa. She would put it on steaks, chicken, whatever, but the pork chops is the definite favorite.
Absolutely.
So we'll pull over our ingredients here. We've got 1.5 cups of Roma tomatoes chopped, and you're going to want to chop them a little bit thicker than a traditional salsa.
Which this sets this dish apart.
Does.
It's a little chunkier, but it just brings that flavor out.
Right, and you get that like garden freshness in every bite, that crispness. And then we've got green bell pepper, so a cup of that.
And talking about fresh veggies, we have to mention Ingles. Every time we go in there, we are drawn to that produce section because it's so bright and beautiful. Everything's so fresh. Right. And it just really sets your dishes apart.
And we brought some of the pre-chopped items with us because when I'm in a hurry and I'm making this recipe, that's the way to go. It saves so much time.
Easy.
They've got it ready. They'll even help you out with what you need chopped. A small yellow onion on top of those peppers. And then we always do additional green onion because it is just an extra touch.
That's kind of our thing. We both love onion. I tease Erin about it, but I love them as much as you do.
It's so good. Okay, and then cilantro, which is really big in all the Brazilian dishes my husband's family will make.
That flavor is just everything.
So I just go ahead and toss that up before I put in the sauces. And I love this because when his family immigrated to the States, this has been one of the staples, kind of the cultures combined of the Southern pork chops with the salsa. So good. Okay.
Mixing the cultures there, which is a beautiful thing.
So good. Okay, a little garlic powder. And then I'm gonna just do 2 tablespoons of olive oil here.
And this is also how we do it in the South. We don't really measure out. We just wing it, right?
That looked like 2 tablespoons, right?
Close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Laura Lynn ketchup, Laura Lynn balsamic vinegar. So we're going to just Put that in about a half a cup.
I love this. I would have never
Yeah.
thought ketchup
I
in this
know.
recipe, but it's so
It's
good.
so good. And then the balsamic vinegar on top.
And the
About a half
Laura
a cup of
Lynn
that.
brand
Yep.
helping us out there.
Absolutely. And if you really like we always taste test it. If you like the balsamic more than the ketchup, just add a little bit more
Right.
and it balances out so beautifully.
I love that. You go with your
Yeah.
flavor.
And that's it. You just stir that together. You can refrigerate it until your pork chops are done. Speaking of those,
Yes.
we got about 20 minutes or so left, so we're gonna get those out of the oven and we'll be back with you shortly to plate this up.
And our pork chops are out. They're ready to go, and they look fantastic and smell even better.
Yes, just let them rest for a second and you're ready to eat.
Yum.
We love to serve them over a bed of rice, or you could simply just eat them by themselves with the salsa on the side or on top. I like to just pour
Add
it
it
on.
on.
Yes, and then a little fresh salad on the side, and you've got a summer fresh recipe that is so divine.
And a family favorite. I'm sure other families will enjoy this recipe as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us today here at the Ingles table.
Yes, be sure to check out more recipes, tips, and tricks on our website. We'll see you next time.